Universal and Amblin, I thought you both learned your lessons. Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover 120 here, and I'm here with a brand new movie review, and this review is going to be for the 5th installment in a franchise that I'm currently reviewing, and until next week is going to be the final one I'll be talking about in this franchise, until the next one comes out next week. And that is of course the 5th installment in the Jurassic Park franchise, or the 2nd installment of the Jurassic World trilogy, and that is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom from 2018. So, yeah. aka the other one besides Jurassic Park 3 that I have not rewatched. But anyway, what's the plot of this? Well, 3 years after the Jurassic World theme park was closed down, Owen and Claire return to Island New Bar to save the dinosaurs when they learn that a once dominant volcano on the island is active and has threatened to extinguish all life there. Along the way, Owen sets out to find Blue, his lead raptor, and discovers a conspiracy that could disrupt the natural order of the entire planet. Life has found a way again. So yeah, how is this movie made? Well, during early conversations about the 2015 first film, Jurassic World, the first of the Jurassic World trilogy, executive producer Steven Spielberg told director Colin that he was interested in having several more films made. Colin said in 2014 that they wanted to create something that would be less arbitrary and episodic, and it would possibly argue to a series that would feel like a complete story. Colin said he would direct the sequel if asked. He later told Spielberg that he would only focus on directing one film in the Jurassic Park series, originally, and would be involved in a sequel in some way but not as director. Colin felt that different directors could bring different qualities to future films. Colin said in June 2015 that he was interested in seeing a Jurassic Park film made by one of the several unnamed Spanish horror film directors. Jurassic World producer Frank Marshall met with Colin and Universal Pictures later that month to discuss a sequel. Colin suggested that the sequel not involve a dinosaur theme park, as he felt future films could explore the idea of dinosaurs and humans coexisting. He said the film could involve dinosaurs going up in source, resulting in multiple entities around the world being able to create their own dinosaurs for various uses. But eventually, Colin would instead be replaced with J.A. Bayona on directing duties. Filming took place from February to July 2017 in the United Kingdom and Hawaii, produced and distributed by Universal Pictures. Fallen Kingdom premiered in Madrid on May 21st, 2018, and was released in the United States on June 22nd, 2018 to theaters. While the film grossed over $1.3 billion worldwide, and was the third Jurassic film to pass the $1 billion mark, and was on the third highest grossing film of 2018, and the 12th highest grossing film of all time, it received more mixed reviews from critics and audiences. They praised the visuals and the darker tone, but they criticized the screenplay, the characters, and some felt the series had run its course at the time. Yeah, now for my reaction. When I saw this movie in theaters when it first came out, let me just say this. I have never walked out of a summer blockbuster in my life, ever. This movie, though, I actually got up and left this movie halfway through because of how bored I was. And I was like, yep, that franchise is dead. And I just never saw the movie again ever since. However, I rewatched the film recently to review it on this channel, and I gotta say, it's a little less boring than last time, but I still think it's the second worst of the series. For those who are expecting a positive review, just be warned, you're not gonna get this here. No. Like a lot of others were saying, the first part of the film, where they are escaping from the island, is great and quite exciting and sets up the film pretty well. However, once that major action sequence is over and you have to focus on the main story, things start to go downhill. I think what bothers me the most is that a lot of the writing is just lazy and not well thought through or truly creative. Instead, we get more of the same themes from the original Jurassic Park films, plus some more from Jurassic World, like mutant dinosaur and evil corporate guys. All the main characters' stories are pretty unbelievable, and there isn't enough investment in developing their individual personalized backstory, so we understand why they behave the way they do. And sometimes I feel like the major action scenes were thought up first, and then the story was just sort of inserted between them as a glue, so we have a way of getting from one action scene to the next. And not only that, I'll get to that part in a bit, but the studio heated the fans, as practical effects are much more prominently used in this film than the last one, allowing for more effectively intimate moments between humans and dinosaurs, and boy did they look fantastic. As always, the CGI is pretty good too, and as always, we also see new species in this series, from horned predator Carnotaurus to boneheaded Suppliclock with Rexy and Blue, back to dominate the spotlight. And the way the action was handled is interesting, going from the grand scale of volcanic eruption to the smaller claustrophobic tension of the new facility with the animals. And the Indoraptor was more or less of a smaller version of the Indominus Rex, is a little scary, has more personality, and isn't as ridiculously overpowered as its predecessor. It was pretty flawed, that killing machine, compared to its larger predecessor. And I also give credit to the music, as some tracks stuck out, like the Grim Choir singing in the hybrid scenes. Jurassic World also managed to muster a few powerful moving scenes, one a certain one of which nearly made me cry. I'm going to get to in a bit. The cast all did their jobs given the material they had, though Justice Smith really annoyed me in this film. Like, his character's probably one of the worst aspects of this movie. And it's a little jarring that Owen and Claire's relationship that seemed to have started in that first Jurassic World film has taken a step back when the film begins. So yeah, you know those sequels that undo happy endings and put the characters back where they started? This is one of those sequels with those two characters. Yeah. So you have your typical sequel cliche right there. Wow. Great way to invest your fans in this trilogy. Just put them back where they started. Some other things really had me rolling my eyes to, like Chris Pratt being Owen's son becoming an MMA fighter to plug his way through countless bad guys, a dinosaur that pretends to be asleep to catch someone off guard, Velociraptor Blue knowing only to attack the villains, like, even though Blue technically was an antagonistic dinosaur that attacked anybody, the transportation of numerous ginormous dinosaurs to a mansion in the US without the knowledge of the authorities, and obligatory Maisie ultimately releasing that captured beast into the wild because she feels sorry for them. Duh. And like, apparently this daughter was created by someone. I get that. Now sure, the wonky chemistry between Pratt and Howard's lead characters, make up for some of the ridiculousness, but it's not enough. And what's worse is, like, when I heard that Jeff Goldblum's Ian Malcolm was coming back, I got excited for this film. I was like, alright, a legend character is finally coming back. Sweet. And the movie comes out, he's only in like 2 fucking scenes of the movie, and literally just in court scenes. So I was like, great. Thanks for wasting a great character we could have finally had back. Wow. The new cast, and like I said, the new cast introduced here, like Justice Smith and Danielle Pineda, are 2 dino-loving sidekicks, and the 4 being more comic relief. Their characters don't even do much. Their characters are kind of just annoying the whole film. They do nothing but whine and bicker. And James Cromwell is a wealthy financier of much of the research responsible for events at Jurassic Park. Rafe Spall's the Aztec Custodian with utterly motives. None of these new characters are even that impactful. Isabella Sermon makes her debut as the granddaughter of Cromwell's Lockwood, and is alright for one of the new characters, but she doesn't really have much character development, per se. It just kind of exists to make a really cliched ending to this film, where she was basically she was literally just created. That's her big reveal. However, despite those bad qualities, it still does have a few good qualities with the film to prevent this from being nearly as bad as Jurassic Park 3. Like, for starters, there's this really sad death scene in the movie involving this Brachiosaurus. That's just one of the most emotional and heart-tugging scenes in the entire franchise. And what's more, that same dinosaur is actually the very same one we first saw in the first film. that the director even revealed it. And also, like I said, Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard still give amazing performances, and their characters are still decent protagonists. Like, Claire Dennings is actually still not a really enjoyable character, but she's slightly improved here than she was in the first film, I will say that. Third, the Indoraptor was a decent successor over the Indominus Rex despite having poor execution, and it somehow has more screen time than Indominus Rex in the previous film. And finally, I did like this. The tone is much darker than some of the other sequels, which is a welcome change of pace and leads to some legit scary scenes, so it kind of felt like the more horror tone of the first film, in kind of a way, except ramped up a little bit more, so I liked we had a much darker tone here. For once, I liked we actually got a sequel that tried to be much more intense. Like, The Lost World's also pretty good, but The Lost World kind of gets also goofy. Jurassic Park 3 is way too goofy, and that's why I fucking hate it. And Jurassic World also gets doesn't really get too intense really at times, so I like we kind of went to the more intense tone of the first one with this movie. However, other than those a few enjoyable scenes, this movie is my second least favorite of the franchise due to the characters, idiot choices, daughter moment, and ending. Like, the ending, this is probably one of the stupidest endings of any sequel. Here's how it ends. They release the dinosaurs into the wild, and the dinosaurs and humans coexist. What? What? Like, you even have a shot of a T-Rex, one of the most dangerous dinosaurs ever, in a zoo with a bunch of happy humans, and it seems like the humans might be in danger, and we're supposed to view this as a happy ending? No! I'm not buying that bullshit. Nobody's buying that bullshit. I'm sorry. No. No. Besides, but whatever, it doesn't matter. This shit's probably obviously going to get retconned in the next film, Dominion, anyway, so yeah, this was not enjoyably worth watching even still today. Sorry for people who like this movie, but I still didn't like it. I mean, I don't hate it as much as I used to. It's slightly a bit better, but still not good, and still my second least favorite. And this is not really a film I plan to watch again. Anyway, that's it for my review of Fallen Kingdom, and if you're wondering how I'm going to rank this movie, here's how I'm going to rank it. So overall, if you want to see how the new trilogy story in this franchise continues on from the 2015 film that kickstarted it, then I would get a pen and a stack of papers, because I bet any of you could come up with a way better continuation of this new trilogy than what we got presented here. And if you're wondering how I'm going to rank Fallen Kingdom, I'm going to give Fallen Kingdom a 5 out of 10. And there we go. And until Dominion comes out next week, we are officially done talking about both Jurassic Park and Jurassic World films. Until next Friday, that is. On June 9th or June 10th. But yeah, we are officially all ready for Dominion. I already got my tickets, so for a VIP showing at an adult theater, so yeah, officially all ready for Dominion. And then yeah. But I also do plan to review a certain franchise next, and however, this next franchise is going to be for an animated Illumination franchise, because we also have a certain spinoff I'm not too excited for that's going to be coming out at the beginning of July, so I'm going to be reviewing all 4 of those films, and I think you can guess what this franchise is. But until then, that'll be it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and if you like this and want to see more, then don't forget to like, subscribe to Movie Lover 120.